Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington. He didn't grow up surrounded by billionaires, supercomputers, or global corporations. Instead, he grew up in a family that valued education, discipline, and the pursuit of excellence. His father, William H. Gates Sr., was a lawyer. His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, served on charitable boards and was a strong supporter of community service. From the very beginning, young Bill was different. While other children were playing outdoors, he had a deep hunger for knowledge. He was obsessed with solving puzzles, reading books, and exploring ideas. There was something unusual about the way he looked at problems. He loved challenges that stretched his mind. At just 13 years old, something happened that would change his life forever. Bill Gates got access to a computer. Now, remember, this was the late 1960s. Computers were not what they are today. They were giant machines that filled entire rooms, used by governments and research labs. To a young teenager, this was like stepping into a magical world. Bill's eyes lit up the first time he touched a keyboard. He wasn't just curious, he was consumed. He wanted to know how it worked, why it worked, and how he could control it. He began to write his first programs, simple at first, but groundbreaking for his age. Imagine being 13 and already creating something that few people in the world could even understand. And here lies the first lesson from Bill Gates' story: greatness begins with curiosity. It doesn't begin with money, it doesn't begin with fame, it doesn't begin with talent alone. It begins with a mind that is hungry to learn, to explore, to push beyond what others think is possible. As the years passed, Bill's passion for computers grew stronger. At Lakeside School, where he studied, he would spend countless hours in front of the terminal, programming, experimenting, and learning. There's a famous story: when the school's computer funds were exhausted, Bill and his friends found ways to continue programming by striking deals with computer companies. They offered to help find software bugs in exchange for computer time. Bill was not just learning programming, he was already learning business. By the time he was a teenager, Bill Gates had a dream forming in his mind. He believed that one day, computers would not just be for businesses or scientists, they would be in every home, on every desk, used by everyday people. Think about this for a moment. In the early 1970s, this sounded crazy. Computers were expensive, gigantic, and difficult to use. Most people laughed at the idea that ordinary families would ever need one. But Gates saw what others couldn't. He saw the future. And that is the second lesson. Vision is the art of seeing what others cannot. In 1973, Bill Gates enrolled at Harvard University. He was just like many bright young students, full of potential, eager to learn. But unlike many others, Gates wasn't content with simply studying for grades or degrees. His mind was already focused on something much bigger. At Harvard, he spent more time in the computer lab than in his classes. He was restless, constantly thinking about new software, new possibilities. During this time, he reconnected with his childhood friend Paul Allen, who shared the same passion for technology. One day in 1975, Paul Allen showed Gates a magazine article about a new computer, the Altair 8800. It was a small, affordable machine that hobbyists were beginning to buy. For Gates, this was the moment. He immediately saw it as the start of the revolution he had imagined. Bill and Paul decided to write software for the Altair. They contacted the makers, Micro-Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems, and told them they had a working program. The truth? They didn't have one yet. But they believed they could build it. They worked day and night, fueled by passion, determination, and belief. And when they finally presented the software, it worked flawlessly. This was the birth of their company, Microsoft. And here lies another lesson: courage is taking the leap, even when the path isn't clear. Bill Gates and Paul Allen didn't wait for certainty. They acted with belief. And that belief changed everything. Not long after, Gates made one of the boldest decisions of his life. He dropped out of Harvard. Think about the risk, leaving behind one of the world's most prestigious universities, with no guarantee of success, all to chase a dream that most people thought was unrealistic. But Gates wasn't chasing safety. He was chasing impact. In 1975, Microsoft was officially founded. Their mission was simple yet revolutionary: to put a computer on every desk and in every home. At first, nobody believed them. The world of business laughed at the idea. The average family had no reason to own a computer, people said. It was too expensive, too complicated, too unnecessary. But Bill Gates and Paul Allen worked tirelessly. They wrote software, made deals, and slowly began turning their dream into reality. This decision, to leave comfort for courage, to leave certainty for vision, was the foundation of Microsoft's success. As Microsoft grew, Gates' leadership became clear. He wasn't just a programmer, he was a strategist. He had a sharp business mind and an obsession with excellence. He pushed his team hard, demanded perfection, and constantly looked ahead. The big break came when IBM, the giant of the computing world, needed an operating system for their personal computers. Microsoft provided it, MS-DOS. It became the standard, and suddenly, Microsoft was everywhere. But Gates didn't stop there. He had a bigger dream: to create an operating system that anyone could use, with a simple graphical interface. That dream became Windows. Windows revolutionized the computer world. Suddenly, ordinary people could use computers without needing to know programming. Businesses, schools, and homes began to adopt it. The dream of putting a computer on every desk was no longer just a dream, it was becoming reality. By 1986, Microsoft went public. Bill Gates became a billionaire at just 31 years old, the youngest self-made billionaire in history at that time. From a 13-year-old boy writing code in a school computer lab, to the founder of a global empire worth billions, this was the rise of Bill Gates. And here is the next lesson: success belongs to those who prepare for the future before others see it. My friends, this first part of Bill Gates' story teaches us powerful lessons. Curiosity sparks greatness. Vision means seeing the future when others laugh. Courage means leaping into the unknown. Sacrifice means giving up comfort for destiny. And success means preparing today for the world of tomorrow. Bill Gates' early life and rise to power remind us that success is not about where you start, it's about how far you're willing to see, how hard you're willing to work, and how boldly you're willing to dream. This is just the beginning. In part 2, we'll dive into the challenges Gates faced, his transition from Microsoft to philanthropy, and the incredible legacy he continues to build, not just as a billionaire, but as a man who gave back to the world. Stay tuned. The journey has only just begun. Thank you.